TIL Momofuku Ando, the inventor of insta ramen, believed his noodles could cure world hunger. Over the decades he would shout quotes to his employees which includes, "Mankind is noodle-kind, what are you doing now? And peace will come when people have food," which are in the employee handbook. So, serious question here, why isn't instant ramen the cure for world hunger? It's extremely cheap, it's shelf-stable, it doesn't require refrigeration. All it needs is some hot water and whatever spices or vegetables you want to throw in. Sure, it's not the best nutrition, but it's better than nothing. Why isn't this being sent to all those places where kids are starving? I have been to the Cup Noodles Museum in Yokohama. A big part of the museum is dedicated to Momofuku Ando's views and story, and I got a big respect for him after visiting the museum. He was not the run-of-the-mill entrepreneur turned success. It was fun to make my own canoodle in the factory too. There's a kid's book called Magic Ramen, the story of Momofuku Ando about his work to create it. It took a long time and a lot of practice to get the noodle texture and cooking time right. It's a nice story of perseverance and hard work with cute illustrations. I love me some instant ramen, but it has hardly any nutritional value. So yeah, it might technically help to address world hunger, but it's no substitute for real food. There are actual real solutions to world hunger. If people with the means and the power had an interest in helping humanity over personal gain, all it takes is an egg and veg, add another protein too and mushrooms, and bam, it's a real meal. How I blanched the noodles and used it in stir-fries regularly. I can't say how many times these noodles have come through for me, and it's a lot of people's first thing they learned to make growing up. Something dawned on me when I was on my own. Any food you make tastes better when using good ingredients, right? Then, if you take something already delicious like cup noodles and add in the finest, freshest ingredients, what do you get? The ultimate flavor experience. Dude's not wrong. It's kinda sexist, but I stand by the saying that there will be world peace when all men have empty balls and full stomachs. Someone better with words than me can make a version that basically says when everyone is sexually fulfilled in a full stomach. Momofuku is a dramatized retelling of his and his wife's story. They changed the names, but it's essentially the story of how instant noodles came to be. If you don't mind reading subtitles or can understand Japanese, it's great. The employees were like, he had this really funny catchphrase every time I cocked up and stood around gormlessly watching a broken machine. He would shout, "What are you doing now?" What a fucking character he was. I used to have to stock the ramen aisle at Walmart. Pure, unadulterated chaos. And it never stopped. As soon as you stocked and straightened the aisle, it'd get destroyed all over again. I suppose feeling like you are working towards a noble goal, even if you're just sweeping the floor of a ramen factory, would add some meaning and joy to your life. Japanese Redditors, is Momofuku a common Japanese name? It sounds kind of odd for Japanese and almost similar to traditional names we have in South Africa. Japan usually claims invention of instant noodle, but Momofuku Ando was a Taiwanese citizen and living in Taiwan when he first invented it. Mankind is noodle-kind. Behold wisdom from the apostle of the flying spaghetti monster. Be blessed by his noodly appendages ramen. Isn't there like no nutrition in instant ramen though? I mean, a kid in Japan starved to death because he only ate instant ramen. This guy is seriously a legend and a hero of mine. Total boss. Should be ranked up with Henry Ford and the like in my opinion. Honestly, this sounds like a pretty good story to use in an anime. Hunger took his parents. So now, he fights hunger. Peace will come when people have food. When people have food, they will invade their neighbors to have even more food. Peace in what terms? There is always greed and selfish egotism that cause conflict. Not that food isn't important. Mankind is noodle-kind. I'll have to remember that one. Does that mean the flying spaghetti monster is real? Thoughtful face. He didn't solve it, but it was a damn good run. Still running. At my highest or lowest, the noodles are around. What are you doing now? It's just standard management heckle, no deeper meaning or quote-worthy aspect to it. Well, he isn't wrong. Hunger does cause a lot of strife, political instability, and other problems. What are you doing now? X200B. How is this a quote and not just something he'd ask his employees? Sounds like a hero if ever I heard one. If actively solving world hunger was his goal. Fucking legend. I will now be shouting mankind is noodle-kind at random intervals. I will not be taking any questions. Why is he eating a chunk of the uncooked noodle on a fork? It's so clearly just a dry block. Of course noodles can't solve world hunger. Just think how bad the profit margins would be. What did the evil elite say when Momofuku Ando tried to end world hunger? Momofuku Ando. I won't eat them anymore after the analyses of all the chemicals in it came out. I'd give we should credit him for inventing the phrase "what are you doing now?" Also creator of noodles in a cup. A true genius to reinvent the wheel twice. Why make up a spicy chip movie when you could make a movie about this guy? Is this where David Chang got the name for his noodle restaurant? I guess we shouldn't be so surprised there are so many cults in Japan. Well, his name is now helping a famous chef make money, so there's that. Pastafarianism should canonize this man as a saint in their religion. This guy was what the goose from Kung Fu Panda is based on. Why is a cube of uncooked noodles on a fork? Chopsticks? Did anybody else never find instant noodles very filling? A man who has never had a pork bun is never a real man.